Swayam Rupah kada mahyam dadati swapadantikam Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmajah Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. The title of today's I guess talk should be the talk we need, instead of when blessings fructify, because that is for next week. I don't think we are ready for just yet. So it's the title is the talk we all need from time to time. Maybe I shouldn't say we all need, maybe the talk I need, but it's a motivation, an inspiration that we need on the path of bhakti. The scene is that Angada, leading the group of monkeys, starting with Hanuman, Jambavan, Tara, Neela, Gandhamadana, Dvainda, Dvivida, Mainda, Dvivida, etc., have mysteriously come out of Swayam Prabha's cave, and their search has been continuing. It is springtime. The time given by Sugriva is over, and now they have to consider what their next move is. Should they go back and tell Sugriva we could not find Sita Devi? The risk is they have come far beyond Sugriva's time limit, so he might punish them by killing them, or just cause pain to Ramachandra by saying we did not find Sita Devi. So this is the dvandva, or the conundrum, the situation where they're unable to decide what to do. And at this point, something happens. Angada speaks. So we will find out what Angada speaks and what his speech entails. Are you able to hear me? Because I somehow sense my connection, although it's supposedly very fast, it seems a little slow.
Loud and clear, Prabhu.
Okay, good. Thank you. So when they've come to this place, where they are almost near the shore of the ocean. And they're seeing this massive waves clashing against the shore. And that is the realm of Varuna, because the seas are governed by Varuna. At this time, they have understood that the time given by Sugriva has gone away, while they have searched all over the place, and somehow now they are seated at the foothills of Vindhya mountains, where the trees are fully blossomed with flowers because it is springtime. Although spring is the time where everything gets new life, our group of monkeys are in desperation. So that's the contrast of the picture. When someone is very sad or desolate in spring, the environment is all about new life, and this person doesn't have any charm or any motivation for life. This is how exactly the monkeys are feeling. And so they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of not afraid of failing of the outcome, but afraid of failing Sugriva's deadline. I mean, we all know, either in universities or at workplace or sometimes, we all know what deadlines do to us. There is a heightened sense of anxiety, there's frustration. People become very nervous, on the edge, because that line is called dead line, meaning beyond which time doesn't exist. We don't have more time to get, so we ask for an extension. So here Sugriva is given quite literally a deadline, and they don't want to displease their king. So they discussed among themselves that, oh, spring has arrived, but we have no message of Sita Devi. So in this state of desperation, Angada, who Valmiki says is a very thoughtful person who can see, who can foresee what will come, he realizes that his neck is on the line. Although he by himself, here is Valmiki's description of Angada, meaning very, very strong body, well-endowed body, but perhaps a little weak inside. So he says, although he has very strong arms, very broad chest, very strong neck, he offers his respects to all the older monkeys or elder monkeys, Jambavan for one, for sure, Hanuman, and anyone else who was older to him in age, or it says Vriddha. Vriddhan can mean ripened with age or wisdom or character. So he says, oh, my dear great monkeys, we started upon Sugriva's order. A month has passed. While we were in that cavity, that Swayamprabha's cave that we were there, all our time has gone away. So I want to express something to you openly. And he says, Vayam Ashvayuje Masikala Sankhya Vyavastitaha Prastitaha Soapi Cha Atita Kimatah Karyamuttaram. He says, if we start counting from the month of October, all the time that has been given to us has been exhausted. That means they've gone far beyond their 1 month time. And so he says, there is no way. All of you are very accomplished, very wise. You have great trust in the king trusts you very well. You have good loyalty to the king. But you although you have accomplished great tasks in your life, but you please understand that Sugriva was going to become very angry. And although all of you are more accomplished than I am, you have accepted me as your team captain. So our mission has not been successful. So we are destined to die in the hands of Sugriva because that was his order. And who can defy that? So rather than go back and share this news with Sugriva, I think we should just fast unto death. Because I know for a fact, and this is Angada speaking, Sugriva is a very intense punisher. Because now he's also the king, he's become the master of all the monkeys. And our not accomplishing our task of coming back within a month with some message, he will consider it a transgression of his instruction. Tikshna prakritya Sugriva Swami Bhave Vyavastita. Swami Bhava. He's sitting there on the throne with this ego of being the Swami, the master of all of us. Na kshamishyantihi na sarvan aparadha kruto gatan. He will not forgive us for our offenses, the offense of transgressing his instruction. And then he gets into, don't think that Sugriva is some pious, great personality. By killing us, Sugriva himself will commit a great sin, thinking that these people did not find Sita, they did not come back in a month, therefore I'm going to kill them. So rather than go through his punishment, let us all sit here and just fast unto death. We'll have to leave our families, our wives, our riches, our houses, homes, etc. Everything, just leave it and stay here. So this is very immature renunciation. And he says, Sugriva likes to torture and punish. So rather, I think we should just commit suicide. Don't think that, Sugriva is all nice and sweet. He crowned me the Prince Regent. But actually, it was not Sugriva's idea. It was done by Ramachandra. He is the real king. Because if you notice, Sugriva had great animosity with my father, Vali. And the animosity he has with my father, he has with me also. And now when he sees that I have not fulfilled his instruction, his anger towards me or his envy for me will actually be justified. Why should I sit here and witness when all my family, my relatives are going to be punished? So rather, I'm not going back. I'm just fasting unto death. So when he speaks like this, all the other monkeys who are more mature than him, it says they sympathetically spoke. Now, when it says they spoke, quite likely it is Hanumanji who spoke, because he is the best speaker among them, and sort of the minister, he's the minister for Sugriva, so he knows how to address. The other monkeys, some of them, I'm sorry, I again went ahead of myself. So when Angada spoke like this, some of the other monkeys chimed in, because they were getting influenced by and convinced by Angada's words. So they said, Sugriva by nature is a hot-tempered person. And as far as Ramachandra is concerned, he's only interested in getting his wife back. The time for searching for Sita has passed. So if we go back to Kishkindha now, without our assignment or task completed, and we may think that, oh, we are back, then Sugriva, who wants to win a favor from Ramachandra, in order to please Ramachandra, he will kill all of us. Because one friend has to show the other friend, see, I'm such a loyal person, loyal friend. When my people will not follow my instruction, I'm so desperate to find Sita Devi for you. These people did not fulfill their task, so I will kill them. He will do this just to please Ramachandra. So not please Ramachandra in the devotional way, pleasing. He says, the other monkeys start chiming in that, with a king like that, coming into his audience itself is difficult. What to speak of walking next to him? So if we go back to Sugriva, I think we are also going to invite our death. Rather, let's just go to Yamaraj's palace on our own than he's sending us. So then when other monkeys also started chiming in, Tara, the son of Tara, he got irritated. He said, keep quiet, nonsense. What you're talking has no sense at all. One way is, rather than kill ourselves, it doesn't make any sense to end our lives. We can go back into Swayam Prabha's cave and live there. Because that cave was left behind by Maya, the demon. There are so many trees full of fruits. There's a lot of eatables. There's water. There's all these wonderful beverages there. And in that cave, even Indra will not come. Indra cannot come. Ramachandra cannot come. Sugriva, who's the king of the monkeys, he will also not come. So now, these monkeys were all agreeing with each other. So one by one, Angada's words are influencing these monkeys. So they're all thinking, okay, how are we going to save our lives and not be punished by Sugriva? When Sri Hanumanji heard this, he said, this needs to be stopped. And Hanuman, instead of addressing all the other monkeys, see Hanuman's intelligence. And that is why I wanted to take the time here, because our meditation is on Sri Hanumanji and his amazing wisdom. The instructions will seem for, perhaps mundane to somebody, but these are very wonderful instructions for a day-to-day life and how to deal with one's own self. Hanuman figured out that Angada, in his own words, is creating a rift in these very wonderful ranks of the Vanaras. And slowly, Angada is creating a parallel government by which, at one point, he might attack Sugriva. But more importantly than just attack Sugriva, Angada is going to cause harm for himself. So he has to say something. And so, first thing is that Hanuman starts to appeal to Angada's wisdom by telling him, "Hey, you're actually quite an intelligent person. So you shouldn't speak like this." He says, "Buddhya hi ashta angaya yuktam chaturbalam samanvitah chaturdasha gunam mene Hanuman valinah sutam." Mene means considered. Hanuman Vali Sutam. Hanuman considered that the son of Vali had these qualities. Buddhya hi ashta angaya yuktam. That is, intelligence had all the 8 dimensions to it. Chaturbala samanvitam. And he had 4 strengths, or he was endowed with 4 categories of strengths. Chaturdasha Gunam, and he also had 14 qualities that were required. So I'm going to list them, and then we'll get into 1 or 2 commentaries about this. So the 8 divisions or dimensions of intelligence are called Shushrushaya. Shushusha means very attentively or politely, humbly, submissively hearing from superiors. Because one who is intelligent will hear words of wisdom. One who is arrogant will not want any wisdom at all. Now, just to show how a conditioned soul is, Krishna puts Arjuna under bewilderment or Vishada. And in that Vishada, Arjuna gives all the reasons and says to Krishna, I will not fight. So then Krishna says, Pragyam Vadamscha Bhasase. Pragyam means one whose intelligence is fully ripened. So you're talking like a learned person, but there's no intelligence in your speech. So first division is called Shushrusha. And we hear this word again and again in Bhagavatam, Shushrusha Shaddadhanasya, Vasudeva Katha Ruchisyam. So by Shushrusha, one gets taste for Vasudeva Katha. Next is called Shravanam. So first, Shushrusha is the condition of the heart. Shravanam is the actual receptivity of receiving wisdom. Okay, you got wisdom, but can go from one ear and go out of the other, which we call air tunnel. But one should be able to grasp what is being spoken. Arjuna grasped whatever Krishna spoke to him. So it's called Grahanam, where the message, as soon as the person hears, it sits, it enters. Then Dharanam. Once the message has stuck, one should meditate on it. Dharana means to hold it actually, or it's flowing. It's constantly, one ruminates on it or cogitates, as they say in English. It has to stay, it has to go deeper and reside in one's heart. And that's called Uha. In Uha, by the message, this is where intelligence function is, that, Prabhupada said, doubt is a sign of intelligence. So this Uha is where a person considers the pros and cons of what they've heard and meditated on. What are the benefits? What are the disadvantages, etc. Then the next division, I have a different commentary here, 1 second. I'm going to skip the Sanskrit because sometimes the Sanskrit words are, so discussing, thinking about the pros and cons, then considering the validity of what one has heard through arguments, because when you consider pros and cons, you have to frame an argument about it. And Arjuna, because he's very intelligent, framed arguments. But Krishna, I've heard this, but what about that? I didn't understand what you said. Say it again, please. And then it says giving up fallacious, and then the determination of the nature of an entity. Giving up the fallacious means one should then give up one's own wrong conception that they were holding. It's called Artha Vijnanam. And then is Tattva Jnanam, knowing the depth of what they have learnt. The Tattva Jnanam is called acumen. So those are, when a person is considered intelligent, then all these things are there within the person. Not just that only one of the barrels are firing. This is like an 8, instead of V6, it's a V8 engine. All 8 valves must be firing really well. The fourfold, obviously we know this: Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda. So Hanuman's speech has all of this, and he's noticing that Angada also has. So he will understand when I speak like this. Sama means to placate or pacify the mind. When someone has an opposing feeling or an opposing view, and they're not going to budge, the argument can have one of these 4 dimensions. Sama, trying to pacify their mind with empathy or however, whatever tools one employs. Then is Dana. Dana means to give concessions or gifts. Bheda means to cause rift, or to say, you mind your business, I'll mind my business. That is called Bheda. Or Danda is actually fighting or punishing. So these are and the 14 qualities that are there in Angada that Hanuman is recognizing. Hanuman can recognize because Hanuman also has it. If Hanuman didn't have, he would not recognize that these are there in Angada as well. And this thus called Desha Kala Gyata. Okay, so to know time and place, what to say according to time, place, and person and circumstance. Dardhyam. Dardhyam means to be steadfast or sturdy in one's behavior. Sarva klesha sahishnuta. Ability to endure difficulties. Sarva klesha, all kinds of difficulties one should be able to endure. That is called strong of heart, otherwise they become weak at hearts. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Hridaya Daurbalyam. Arjuna, it's not required for you. Tyaktva Hridaya Daurbalyam Uttishthot Parantapa. And then he says Sarva Vigyata. Sarva Vigyata means knowing all different options that might exist to consider. In our life, I know in mine, when we're going through a situation, I may not even consider that other options existed. I only think of 1 or 2, and later it might click to me, oh, actually I had that option too. I didn't realize I could have done this. I had other option. So a person who can Sarva Vigyata, knows all different options. Daksham, skillful or expert. Urja. Urja means has a lot of ability to defend oneself. Not defensive, but the ability to defend against difficulty. He says, Samvrita Mantrata, maintaining confidentiality. It is important that that person has ears open and mouth closed. A gossiper has ears open and mouth open even more. Then asamvidita. Asamvidita means not getting into unnecessary debates. People like to get into useless debates, and a wise person says, not worth it. Or not speaking lies is another meaning. Shauryam, Shura, being very courageous. And it says, Shakti Gyatvam, recognizing the strengths and weaknesses of one's own nature and others. So in marketing, we call it SWOT analysis, considering strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So one should know, okay, in this situation, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What is that person's strength and weakness? Then he says, Kritagyata. Obviously, we know this word, being faithful or being grateful. He says, Sharana Agata. Sharanagata Vatsalyam. One should go and take shelter of those who are willing to give shelter, meaning taking shelter of wise, purer, and ideally pure persons. And amarshatvam, amarshatvam, amrshatvam, I'm sorry, amarshatvam. Using anger when required. A person who's always angry has no friends. And a person who can never get angry can never develop deeper friendship. Because once you know someone closely, you should be able to show your displeasure and say, that's not right. Otherwise, they're always people pleasers. A people pleaser thinks he or she has friends, but they don't have friends. And a harsh person knows they have no friends. So anger has its utility, not every time, but has its utility. And finally, he says achalana. Achalana is that one is very fixed in one's opinions or actions. It is not that when the circumstances like this, I speak and behave this way, circumstance changes, my values also change. Most people say, for example, that they don't want to speak lies, great quality. But at some point, when the going gets tough, it is easy to say a white lie and keep moving on because things become easier. It's the path of least resistance. So then Hanuman considered that Angada, who has all these qualities, he also has other things. Apuryamanam Shashvat Chateja Balaparakramahi. He has great strength. My computer is stuck. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
It was
Prabhu.
a little low. Sorry, it was a little low.
My screen is frozen for some reason. Okay, I think it's getting better now. I don't know what it is. Some days are like that. Oh, I'm already in this one. I shouldn't be here. Sorry. I lost my page. Oops. And because I don't know this in my heart, I have to rely on pages and notes. Okay, where is it? My computer is just completely frozen. Sorry.
But your voice is loud and clear, Prabhu. So
Yeah, but inside there is no content. No, hold on. There you go. Then Hanumanji noted that Angada has great other qualities. He's mighty, he has great valor. He's like the moon that over time grows in brightness and power. In his speech, he's as good as Brihaspati, who's the guru of the Devatas. He's very wise, like the Jupiter planet. He's fearless, like Vali. He's very, very attentive, and he's very attentive to the rebellious words that Tara is talking about. And he is listening. He's listening carefully to what others are saying, and his internal situation of defecting from Sugriva is growing. Then Hanuman, who's the best of scholars in all scriptures, tried to instill some confidence in Angada, especially about Sugriva. So Hanuman, said, Sa Chaturnam Upayanam Trutiyam Upavarnyam Bhedayama Satan Sarvan Vanaran Vakya Sampada. Vakya Sampada, greatly endowed with the ability to say the perfect thing at the right time to the person in question. So Hanuman saw that Angada is creating a a faction, a group that is going to separate from Sugriva, and that is not good for them. So then Hanuman started, instead of only just placating their minds, Hanuman said, okay, I need to somehow rope Angada back in. And I don't want them to defect. He says, you know, oh Angada, son of Tara, you're right. Your father Vali was a great Vanara, great strength, mighty. Okay. And you, like Vali, have enough strength to sustain the entire Vanara kingdom. It's possible. He says, but Angada, if you know monkeys, they're very restless. Okay. So restless means now you're asking all these monkeys to fast unto death with you here. In a few days, they will miss their sons, their wives, the comfort of their bed, their home, and they will not be able to tolerate to be with you. They will want to go back. He says, Nityam asthirachita hi kapayo haripungava. Oh, best of the monkeys, you know that monkeys are asthirachita. Their mind is very restless. Na agyapayam vishahishyanti putradaran vinatvaya. They will not want to be with you without their wife and children. That's what they want. Then you'll be alone. You'll be left alone. Then let me tell you something even more obvious. You see, Jambavan, Neela, Suhotra, this great monkey, they will not hang out with you. As far as I'm concerned, my loyalty, like their loyalty, is with Sugriva. Okay, and you cannot change our mind against Sugriva. Even if you try to give us some high position, or if you try to placate my mind, or forget about even challenging me for a fight. None of the 4 divisions will work. Nahi aham te ime, not me or these monkeys, sarve, samadana adibhihi gunaihi dandena na tvaya shakya sugriva apakarshitum. So you cannot sidetrack us, you cannot distract us from our, or you cannot dilute our fidelity to Sugriva by samadana, etc. He doesn't say danda adibhi includes danda and bheda. He says, forget those. With sama and dana, you cannot bribe us to be on your party. So he's showing Angada the weakness that by thinking of him defecting from Sugriva, he is going to cause himself a lot of harm. 1, he will not have any friends. 2, he cannot win over other people by his useless arguments, although he is very strong. He says, even if you think you can hang out for a long time by yourself, you better be careful, okay? Because you on your own cannot survive like that. And now, as far as going back into Swayamprabha's cave and hiding from Sugriva, as Tara and others have spoken, when Lakshmana hears this, he's going to finish that cave in a moment. You don't even need Ramachandra's arrows, Lakshmana's arrows. He'll split apart that entire cave with 1 arrow. You have no idea who Lakshmana is? He says, once Indra had released his thunderbolt on this cave, right? But that act of releasing a thunderbolt and destroying Maya was a very, like they say in Hindi, Baya Hath Ka Khel. Not at all something great for Indra. Now, what to speak of Lakshmana? Even whatever he does is even smaller than for him. This is very, very simple. Lakshmana's quiver is full of wonderful, powerful arrows, as powerful as Indra's thunderbolt. And one arrow can convert a mountain into sand like dust just by one arrow. Because I have witnessed what Ramachandra has done with one arrow that pierced the sala trees. And when the sala trees got pierced, all the leaves fell. Then the arrow went into a mountain, completely struck the mountain, went through the mountain, went into Patala Loka, and came back into Ramachandra's quiver. And it was not that it took a lot of time. We were all waiting. When will the arrow come? It was in an instant. That is the power of Rama. And so we know how Lakshmana is also. You may think, oh, you're some place, you're a prince and all that. Angada, all these monkeys will desert you. You'll be alone. Because they'll become hungry. But even if they're hungry, enjoying food without loved ones around them is not possible. How long can a person enjoy great food without people that they love being with them? Sometimes we may get fantastic food, but we wait to go back and sit with our family and eat simple dal rice, even roti. Yes, that's because the joy of being with people they love is much greater. Angada, these people are going to sulk there. They won't be with you. And when you don't have loving friends, well-wishing relatives, you will become all alone and become lonely. And when you become lonely, just because monkeys are like that, you'll become very frightened, constantly thinking someone's going to come kill you. In fact, even when a little piece of grass moves like that, or some dry leaf will move, from that very sound, you'll become alert, you'll become scared. And if Lakshmana releases an arrow to kill you, you cannot escape. Okay. And Lakshmana's arrows are irreversible. It's not like you can hide somewhere and escape. So don't try. As far as Sugriva is concerned, Sugriva is a very, very clean personality. Dharmaraja Pitruvya. Pitruvya means uncle. Te Priti Kamo Dridhavrataha. He desires your happiness and pleasure. Dridhavrata. Once he makes a promise, he doesn't change it. Shuchihi is pure. Satya Pratigya. He resides in, or he is fixed in truth. Chasatvam Jatuna Nashet. So don't think he will kill you. He won't. Na Nashayet. He is not going to destroy you. In fact, Priyakamaha chate matuhu tadartham cha asya jeevitam. Tasya apatyam na cha asti anyatasmad angada gamyatam. As far as your mother is concerned, he's a well-wisher. Sugriva lives to please her only, meaning that he is very fixed in his fidelity and loyalty to her. And think about this, Angada. Sugriva doesn't have a child, so you are the next king anyway. So rather than thinking of defecting or deviating or deserting your own king and kingdom, it's better that we go back to Kishkindha. What a wonderful advice Hanumanji is given. So with that, then Angada is not convinced so easily. Although Hanuman's advice is fantastic. Angada says, Sugriva is not a steady-minded person. You're saying he's harmless. I don't think he's harmless. And he's very diplomatic. He won't tell you what he's thinking. And you can forget about his heart being clean or anything. He's just not like that. Just consider what kind of a person Sugriva is. He's living with his older brother's wife, who's like a mother to him. So he's immoral. And as far as Sugriva, he's immoral, he's unclean, he's living with his older brother's wife, who's like a mother. For his dear brother that was as good as his own life, he closed the cavity, mouth of the cavity when his brother was fighting inside to leave his brother to die, usurped the kingdom so that he thought that, oh, Dundubi, he has killed Vali, I don't want Dundubi to come and I don't want to be killed by Dundubi. So he defected his brother, just left him like that. And you're telling me his morality is very high? He made friendship with Ramachandra. Why? Not because, oh, Ramachandra is a wonderful person to make friendship with, because he figured out Ramachandra is very strong and he used Ramachandra to kill my father, Vali. His own brother. Forget about my father, his own brother. And he sent all of us, oh, go in all these directions, these millions and gazillions of monkeys. Not because he cares for Ramachandra. He is afraid of Lakshmana. But he is one of those persons who doesn't show his fear. So he has guised his fear of Lakshmana as if it's friendship for Ramachandra. I know him. That Sugriva is a very shameless person. He killed my father. He completely did not respect tradition and took away my mother, his brother's wife. And he's not at all grateful to Ramachandra. And he's only using us, like they say, like pawns on a chessboard. He's just using us. Because he's telling us, oh, my friendship with Ramachandra. No, he's afraid of Lakshmana. So how can I be part of his family? Now, when a person has his own son, whether he's a good person or a bad person, the kingdom will naturally go to that son because of affection that the father has. But I am the son of an enemy. You think Sugriva will let me live? And it looks like my plan to live in this cave is not going to succeed because, one, I've not found Sita Devi, and I'm powerless because all of you are on Sugriva's side. So, although Sugriva is barbarous, all I can do is I'll just fast unto death. You all can go if you like. And you said, right, these monkeys will not stay with me. Fine, you can all go. When you go back, I want you to know I'm sitting here fasting unto death. That's what I'm going to do. And when you get to Kishkindha, on my behalf, please let Ramachandra know that I've offered my respects to and deference. I'm offering my obeisances to him. You can also offer my respects to Sugriva. Now, please offer my respects to Ruma, my stepmother, and ask how her health is doing. Please pacify my mother Tara's heart, who by nature is very warm-hearted, austere lady who loves her son very much. And when she knows that I have fasted unto death, she herself might give up her life. And so, saying, Angada offered his respects to all the Vanaras, made a very glum face, and just sat on the ground. completely unmotivated, losing all enthusiasm and any desire to go forward, just giving up. When the other monkeys saw Angada do so, they also just sat down. And they all started crying. And the whole atmosphere there became very dreadful. And in that dreadful condition, they started discussing wonderfully. I'm sure it was prompted by Hanumanji. They started discussing how Ramachandra was the son of Dasharatha, great prince, the son of a great king, had to leave Ayodhya and come to the forests. And how Dasharatha died out of separation. And Ramachandra decimated Janasthan. Then they discussed how Jatayu, who was living there, when Sita Devi was being kidnapped, Jatayu offered a fantastic fight. And then Ramachandra and Lakshmana, searching for Sita Devi, continued and came to Kishkindha and made friends with Sugriva and killed Vali. At that point, because of Ram Katha in the atmosphere, suddenly things started looking as if good fortune would arrive. So the lessons from this episode is Angada is losing confidence. Angada is losing any sense of the drive, the zeal to continue, and he's going to give up. And Hanumanji makes sure that Angada will not give up. So he gave him advice. He tried to appeal to his intelligence, applied the Samadana Danda Veda, yet Angada was fixed. No, I'm giving up. At that time, Ram Katha is the one that actually brings Angada out of this, and we'll see soon when we meet next time. But the point is, whatever is one situation, and as a sadhaka, especially in Kali Yuga 2022, we may, maybe you don't, but I find myself sometimes finding it very hard to continue. Although giving up hasn't never crossed my mind, but I've known people who just want to give up. And at that time, people have all these ideas that, oh, I'm not advancing spiritually, or I'm not doing this, or, look at others, they've gone so fast, they've gone forward, I'm stuck here, or there is no hope, I make the same mistakes again, or I'm falling down, or I'm offensive, I'm not able to control my senses, my speech, my arrogance, my ego, whatever is our bark. My Guru Maharaj calls it the garden variety of issues. Katha of Sri Ramachandra gives life, a new hope. It breathes in new prana, new life in us to energize us. So whenever we find ourselves, if, of course, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, somehow or the other, every day, whether we like it or not, whether we understand or not, whether it is entertaining or not, Katha of the Supreme Lord. And you'll see in Ramayana again and again and again, wherever a person feels morose, they have no motivation to continue, it is Sri Ramachandra's Katha that brings them back to life and gives them the greatest hope, and they become very successful. Swayam Prabha, who's sitting there in a cave all by herself, Hanuman narrated Ram Katha to her. Angada, who's giving up right now, he's a prince. Arjuna Vishada, here Angada Vishada. He's giving up. He's coming up with all sorts of ideas to not continue. Hanuman is narrating Ram Katha. Sita Devi, she will hear Ram Katha. Vibhishana will hear Ram Katha. Whole bunch of people will. Ravana was also told, but the fellow was in a different place. But Ram Katha brings life to everybody, everybody. Of course, when Hanumanji narrates to Ravana, he doesn't narrate it as Katha, he narrates it as warning. But in Ramayana, it is the narration of Ram Katha that brings life, and that too by Hanumanji. So we need this kind of, from time to time, a push. And that push doesn't come from externally, it comes from internally. And that push has to come only because of Katha. Whenever we have a problem, whatever is our challenge, for a moment, absorb in proper Katha, and you'll see the joy of it. I'm sure I've seen it, and I'm sure each one of us has that experience. But that's what's being narrated in Ramayana. Let's see if there are any questions, comments. It's 9:27 already. Silent. Haribol, anybody there? I see names there on that list.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, there.
Please accept my humble obeisances on Krishna Prabhupada. Just a short question, Prabhu. So you told that when there is some problems in the life, the Katha is remedy. And theoretically, and you asked this question that practically we all experienced it. But the tendency is that when there is a distress, the mind goes more to the distress and the Katha doesn't enter the ears.
Yes.
And also we hear in the Bhagavatam, Tava Katha Amritam and Satam Prasangam. So there are a lot of stress is given to the Katha, but still, practically it's very difficult to apply. I don't know for all, but for me, it's very difficult to apply.
And in this case, Angada is also not thinking of Katha, is thinking of different reasons, but we need Hanuman type person or persons who will tell us the Katha, who will narrate somehow or the other the glories of the Lord. This is not happening self, it is happening through the medium of others. And if we don't have anybody like that in our life, then that's a wake-up call, and go find people like that for ourselves first. There's no shortage of Katha. We may say, I don't have interest or taste for Katha. Right now, my problem. The more one dwells on the problem keeps growing. People say, oh, I have to think about a solution. And instead of thinking about the solution, most people think about the problem. Although they are thinking about solution, they are thinking about the problem, and the problem keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. That's one. Second, it is a flaw in one's intelligence to think that the solution lies in the problem. Actually, the solution lies elsewhere. Like in medicine, when someone has a headache, for example, there could be many varieties of headache, but generally, one may think that I have to offer medicine to the head. But in most cases, the headache is because of indigestion. The source of the problem lies somewhere. The solution also lies somewhere else. And a person has to be made aware that the solution is somewhere else, not in the problem. Because Prahlad Maharaj says, Dukkha Ushadam Tadapi Dukkham Asadhyaham. Because when one is constantly thinking of the problem, their meditation is on that asat, that problem itself. And so the remedy will become worse, will make things worse. The remedy lies somewhere else.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Narayana.
So you explain like Hanuman explains the qualities of Angada, but still is it because of his intelligence is bewildered?
Your voice, I couldn't hear beyond Hanuman explained to Angada.
So Hanuman explained Angada's qualities,
Yes.
but even a person having all these qualities, still he was thinking of taking the path of suicide. So is it because of his intelligence is bewildered, or how to understand that one?
Well, more than intelligence, his heart is mixed, poisoned. Although it has started from the sense of failure. From that sense of failure, he is now thinking, oh, because I have failed, Sugriva is going to kill me, that I didn't come back on time. And it makes sense. This is where we convince, or Angada is convincing himself that what I'm thinking is correct, because here is the logical reasoning for it. Sugriva is a very sharp, intense punisher. He somehow has some grudge against me, although he has crowned me as the prince because Ramachandra told him. May not be that case. And so he's now thinking how things will become worse for him. So better not to go. So it's called Vishada. So you can say intelligence got bewildered, but more important is heart got corrupt. And Hanuman is placating or trying to revive him back. So there is a proper strategy. First, Hanuman told him. Hanuman is helping other monkeys without telling them. By addressing Angada, he is already telling them that none of these monkeys will stay with you. They'll all go away. Our loyalty, he said, those monkeys' loyalties are to their family and food. Our loyalty is to Sugriva. You'll become alone and you'll fade away. Rather, let me tell you that Sugriva actually is a nice person. He loves you. He loves your mother. He is going to give the kingdom to you. So he's reviving his intelligence, but also correcting his heart. And the best medicine for that is Katha. So he's bringing him to a place where now they're discussing Ram Katha. So like Arjuna says, Nashta Moha Smritir Labdha. Smriti Labdha, so both intelligence and but moha, bewilderment or illusion of their role, what they're supposed to do, what is being called upon by dharma for them to do, like that. Is that okay, Narari? I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
So here's a question someone wrote. This class has many qualities of Sugriva, like positive and negative. In the same way, everyone in this world has positive side and negative side. We need to take the positive things and be with them. Is it right? There cannot be a one-dimension answer, because each person's ability, each person's patience, each person's tenacity is different. So what are the good qualities or the good side? Obviously, they need to be expressed and appreciated. And whatever is the negative quality, either you bring it to their attention in a way that without them feeling they're being attacked, to help them address those qualities or sort of navigate through them by not triggering those bad qualities. So each person has to navigate through life. And the strength coming to us from that navigation is by absorbing in good katha. No, I shouldn't say katha is always good, meaning nicely absorbing oneself in katha, supported by a good sadhana framework. Hath Katha is part of sadhana, but sadhana should also be there. Then it gives us the tenacity to work through life. Like the qualities that Angada actually possesses. If Angada did not have these qualities, Hanuman speaking would not help. So first Hanuman says, oh, there are all these wonderful qualities, but right now there is this curtain of doubt and dissension. If I remove that, then Angada will be again this wonderful person. And the list of qualities is important. So we appreciate what it takes to be fixed on one's journey as we go through life. Okay, anything else? Okay, seems like we're done. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Oh, Haribol.
This Kirti. In the previous week, we saw how Angada was rallying his troops and encouraging them to continue searching. And today he lost all hope. It's very surprising how things have changed for him. He was a source of all hope for his followers. And now in today's class, he was giving words of wisdom back then. But today he seems to be in a very low place.
I mean, it's anyone's story. How results or failures, or more than failures, the perception of failure can completely topple a person from being fixed intelligently to being completely lost, to the degree that he wants to give up his life. Failure can do things like that. But in this case, it's a perceived failure. So failure actually is not out there. Failure is a sense, a perception here. It's a thought. And our happiness and distress is all because of the thoughts that we have about a circumstance. So if the thought changes, then the feeling changes, or whatever changes. And it's there in the Bhagavad Gita, right there, second chapter. Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya sita ushna sukha dukkhada agama apayinah anityam tam stitikshasva bharata. And he compares it with the temporary nature of weather. I mean, you're sitting in Houston, so your weather is always hot. But for us, we have cold weather and warm weather. It's temporary. And the words used are matra sparsha. Matra means it is only sparsha, the touching of the mind with the sense organs. Matra sparshastu, that is all it is there, Arjuna. So if the mind, you change the thought, the sense of happiness comes up. You change the thought, the sense of fear or something else will come. It all depends on the state of the mind, not state of circumstances. Circumstances are not the problem. It's the imposition of the mind on the circumstances. So he uses the word sukha, dukkha. In both the words, the common word is kha. Right? Kha is the word for the sense of space. Right? Bhumir apo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha. Kham is space. And when that space, meaning when the mind, although the space itself is neutral, it can give us a sense of sukha or dukkha because of the mind's projection on it. Air itself, Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. That air, as it travels, if it travels over a smelly place, it picks up the perceptions of that smell. And if it blows through or breezes through a fragrant place, it picks up fragrance. This is called sukha and dukkha, like the mind. And the mind is the one that is picking up. It's all perception. And so Angada has the perception, oh, I failed. And because I failed, he's already gone into what failure will look like and all the consequences of that failure. And all of his misery is right there. Just as Arjuna's, he didn't even start the war. He already imagined what things will happen, how it will happen, and makes him miserable. So he says, Nashta moha smritir labdha. Mind is figured out. So anything is just a change of or a transformation of thought or the mind that needs to be addressed.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And while you were speaking, Angada's mind seems to dwell. I mean, I did not hear him say that, how can I go back and tell Rama that I did not find Sita or we did not find Sita. So that is the reason why I will give up my life. Rather, he was more on Sugriva, saying like, Sugriva is very exacting and his punishment, he seems to fear his iron fist.
Yeah, but that's, I don't find that necessarily a flaw. We're all under Sugriva's
It's
order.
not a flaw per se, but it's just his thought process was different.
Oh, but the orders were given by Sugriva. They're all under Sugriva's order. So yeah, he's not so connected to Ramachandra as a devotee, but yes, as a devotee, we have to anchor our thoughts around our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So that point, I totally agree. I appreciate what you brought up. It's not anchored on the Supreme Lord. It's anchored on his own well-being and his sense of fear or not being well when Sugriva hears that they didn't show up. All right, I've kept you guys a lot longer than 1 hour.
Thank you so much.
Should we call it quits? I can't hear you, Stira. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I muted myself.
Yes.
So, when you were talking about Sugriva, I have been working on how mind processes things, and I am connecting it to, like you say, there is a muscle memory. So way back when first time I experienced failure, then the reaction I got from the people around for that failure was punishment, and then that's like inbuilt in my system. So now when I experience failure, I project disapproval, punishment, or whatever. So I don't know if it gels with Sugriva's case, but this was just a thought. So I don't know if you could comment on it. Or
You mean Angada or Sugriva?
Angada, sorry.
Well, our experiences color our perceptions. So the phrase used in Bhagavatam is karmatmakam In the 5th canto, the word is karmatmakam. So karma is not just what we do, but also what we experience. Karmatmakam, such a mind, yena, by which sharira bandha, becomes bound to another body. So yes, we have experiences. Those experiences color our perception of the world or our vision of the world. And as a sadhaka, we are given the holy name, the association, the deities, the dham, the Bhagavatam, etc., scripture, to under the guidance of a guru and sadhus, to open the door for the possibility for the experience and the perceptions to change. It doesn't happen. It's not a light switch where it's flipped and suddenly there is light. And nobody becomes enlightened that way. Very rare. And those rare cases are shown in the Bhagavatam as cases as what in English we call them mercy cases. Or the phrase we're used to is Kripa Siddha. Almost everyone else is sadhana siddha. They work or they toil at it. It's a very gradual, I shouldn't say very gradual, it's a gradual path. Enlightenment happens in increments. It doesn't happen in, just immediate change of state. It takes time. It takes time because our holding on to the old perceptions are also tight. Like Prabhupada says, how long does it take to become Krishna conscious? But only a few moments are required. And in those few moments, one should give up bodily conception of life. Whoa. And therefore, for most human beings, it is gradual because we loosen the grip on that perception slowly, or perceptions slowly. And to the difficulty or ease with which we let go of the grip, that ease or difficulty is with which our enlightenment grows. So it takes time. Now, juxtaposed to the old experiences are other experiences, possibly. There are other cases with your friends, not just devotees, but maybe your friends or devotees, where failure is not met with punishment. So we take strength from one to overcome the other. Right? Maybe some devotees may have punished. That's also possible. But there might be other experiences. There must be at least one experience in life where a failure is not meted with or not punished. We can take strength from that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Shamakund wants to say something. I was hoping you will say something.
Prabhu.
Can you put salt in this preparation so that it has some taste?
Prabhu, it was not just about salt. It had all the rasas. I mean, maybe I thought I'd just write it in the chat group itself. How one is about eloquence, but it is also about the depth at which, like, many things that you brought out, like su with ka or do with ka, the space, what we put into that space makes it either an experience of sukha or a dukkha. I liked it very much. One thing I wanted to just share this thought with you, Prabhu. Recently, I was in the temple discussing with one very young devotee, and he was just telling me what he heard from his spiritual master. A simple one sentence. Spiritual master told him, every devotee should take some responsibility in Krishna consciousness. And if they don't take, they cannot progress. So he said, take something. Either I mean, it could be as simple as doing something for devotees, or even say getting married or becoming temple president, name it. Take some responsibility. And today, when you were narrating, I felt Angada took that responsibility and is going through the churning of, yes, we can do it. No, we cannot do it. I have doubts on this and that. The series of events is making him to learn about Lord Ramachandra from Hanuman. I mean, so responsibility in a spiritual atmosphere helps us. One takeaway. Thank you.
Oh, good point. Thank you for sharing that. One sprig of cilantro can make the whole dish look good. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's call it a day. We'll meet again next week, where their katha at the shore of the ocean actually helps someone else. And that will be the person, Sampati, who breathes new hope in his own life and in the life of all these monkeys. So that is how Ram Katha can bring unforeseen, unexpected fortune in one's life. We may think, oh, I don't have any solution. And somewhere, from somewhere, that solution will manifest for sure, again and again. So Sampati showing up and narrating so that the story can go forward, the Leela can unfold, and we can all benefit from it. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.